Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Fast Forward Mercurial edition of the Nike Air Max 1. Now as you can see, it comes in your standard red Nike sportswear box, nothing too exciting there. We'll take a look at the label. You can see it's listed as the Nike Air Max 1 FB, still don't know what that stands for, Premium, and QS, which stands for Quick Strike. So this is going to be a limited release. In fact, this shoe does not come out until April 12th, I believe. The size is of course a 10, and the colorway is Atomic Violet, Black, and Total Orange. This is a Canadian pair, so it doesn't have a retail price, but I believe these guys are going to retail in the US for $140. So with that being said, let's get these out of the box really quickly. And this is honestly a shoe that I am very excited to have, and very excited to have a little bit early at that. So here is a look at the tribute pack or fast forward mercurial edition of the Air Max 1. The Air Max 1 is a shoe that I'm personally a really big fan of. It looks good in so many different colorways, but for Nike to do a mercurial edition color for the Air Max 1, I was all over that. We saw they did some Hypervenom colorways when that shoe released, but they were pretty low profile and there really wasn't much about them that hinted that it was actually a Hypervenom edition Air Max 1. But with this fast forward or mercurial pack that they did for all the fast forward mercurial Vapor 9s, which for those of you guys that follow me on my soccer channel are probably very familiar with, they did an Air Max 1 colorway equivalent. So this shoe, just to give you guys a quick little reference here, is a tribute to this colorway. This is a Mercurial Vapor Superfly 2, a shoe back from 2010 that was worn in that World Cup. That's what this colorway is trying to mimic. But this release coincides with the fast forward release of the Mercurial Vapor 9, which again features a very, very similar color scheme, most notably that purple color with, of course, the warning graphic in orange at the heel. Now, as you can tell, these two colors are a little bit different. This is a metallic mock purple, where this is what they call Atomic Violet. Definitely more vibrant, not exactly the same, but still very, very cool. And I think the theme overall, the point of the shoe to match this colorway definitely gets across, and it makes for a pretty good looking shoe, at least in my opinion. Pretty loud, but something that I had to have just because it's so recognizable. It's such an iconic colorway. The 2010 World Cup Mercurial, or Nike color scheme I should say, was one of those ones that everybody saw simply because every Nike player on the field had it on their feet. So it was a sea of this purplish gray and orange. And like I said, I'm just very excited to have these. So as far as what makes this such a cool colorway, it even features the exact same dimpled pattern on the upper, and that's really what sold me. You can see that on the Vapor 9, it does have that dimpled texture. It's a touch feature. For those of you guys that aren't familiar with it, for the soccer cleats, and it's cool that they implemented that on the Air Max 1 as well. If that wasn't there, I'm not so sure I would have been as convinced to buy these right away, but because they implemented that design element to kind of make it a direct coincided release with this Mercurial Vapor 9, like I said, it's something that I was all over and have been waiting for the last month or so. As far as other materials on the upper, the Nike swoosh itself is kind of a nubuck material in black, as you can tell, and that's both on the lateral and medial sides of the shoe, whereas the mudguard going all the way around, I guess it's called the mudguard, but anyways, this strip of orange, again going all the way around the outside of the shoe, right along the outsole, is kind of an orange nubuck, very, very soft, and actually feels pretty high quality, whereas the rest of the area on the upper is filled in with this kind of shiny nylon mesh-like material, all violet purple in color, along with the laces themselves. You're going to find your Nike Air Max tag right there on the tip of the tongue, whereas on the back here you're going to find that warning graphic, again to match the mercurial paint job or mercurial graphics, and that's in of course that orange as well as purple with your embroidered Nike Air logo right there in black. Very high quality and looks absolutely fantastic. The liner on the inside is a black mesh, as you can see. Quickly remove the insole, you can see it's lined in that same Atomic Violet color. You got your Nike Air branding right there, and it's pretty much just one piece of gray foam, as you would expect from a pair of Air Max 1s. Moving on to the outsole, it's a white outsole. Kind of has a slightly vintage look about it. I'm not sure if it's a true white, might be slightly aged looking, but again, That's kind of down to opinion. It's going to change the first time you wear it anyways. It will get a little bit dirty. And then you have your exposed air unit, which appears to be white on the inside as well. It looks like it could be glow in the dark, but I actually tried it out. It doesn't glow in the dark, unfortunately. But nonetheless, still looks very, very cool in my opinion. And then the outside of the shoe, the sole itself, is another factor on all the Air Max 1 Mercurial series shoes that really sold me, in that it's like a translucent kind of milky color. Very, very cool in person. And again, it does appear like it might glow in the dark. I tested it out. It does not glow in the dark, but nonetheless looks very, very cool. It's that iconic Air Max 1 outsole. Nothing too crazy about it. You got this kind of waffle pattern, I guess, in the front with these little nubs, and then you have your Air branding right there. Kind of hard to see on camera probably, but it is there nonetheless. So that's pretty much it as far as all the details are concerned. Very, very cool shoe. Me being a really big into soccer cleats, was one of those shoes that I definitely had to have, and I'm kind of interested in possibly picking up some of the other colorways from this particular pack, just because I like it so much. The chrome one, I think, is one of the other ones that really drew my attention, so perhaps in the future I will bring in more if they are available. Again, this is a quick strike, so as far as their availability, I'm not too sure about that. I think they will probably sell out pretty quickly, but nonetheless, that's pretty much it as far as all the details are concerned. And move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes look. Alright, here's a look at the Air Max 1s on feet, and there's really not much to say about the overall design. It's an iconic shoe from Nike that will probably be in production as long as Nike exists as a company, so pretty much forever. They're available in tons of different colorways. Obviously this is a quick strike, not necessarily a general release, and definitely a little bit more flashy, but they're available in, like I said, more general release colorways that are a lot more subtle, and shoes you can actually wear on a daily basis as far as having more neutral colors. For the most part though, as far as wearing these with shorts, especially in this colorway, I think it's an okay summer shoe just because it is so flashy and so vibrant. And they're also surprisingly comfortable. The sole, as you can tell, is relatively thick, and it's kind of hard to believe that this was at one point a performance running shoe. I think the Air Max 1 originally came out in 1987, correct me if I'm wrong. But again, very comfortable shoe to wear casually on a daily basis. You can't really feel a particular foam or even the Air Max unit in the heel, at least in my opinion. But again, it's got a nice, comfortable, soft, cushioned base. And like I said, they just feel nice and comfortable. In terms of sizing, these are a size 10. Normally I try and go for a 9.5, but they weren't available in these shoes in this colorway. So I opted for a 10, and the fit and the length is honestly pretty good. If you want a slightly roomier feel, you can safely go a half size up. But for the most part, I would say that these run true to size. So that's pretty much it as far as what they look like with a pair of shorts. And move on next to what they look like with a pair of pants. Alright, here's just a quick look at the Air Max 1s on feet with a pair of pants. Just wanted to give you guys a quick 360 so you can see exactly what they look like. A very cool shoe, very unique colorway. Definitely a colorway that I wouldn't say is for everybody. But if you're a fan of the Mercurial series, if you're a fan of any of those iconic Mercurial colorways, this Air Max 1 collection is an absolute must-have, at least in my opinion. And like I said, I probably will be looking into possibly getting another pair from this particular collection, just because I like them so much, and I think it's just such a cool pack from Nike. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Mercurial Air Max 1s. This is an absolutely classic shoe in a very interesting and very unique colorway, and there's really not much more to say other than that. As far as availability is concerned, like it said on the box, this is actually going to be a quick strike release, meaning that it's going to be more limited than a general release from Nike. So as far as who's going to have these available online or in store, you really have to check with your local shoe stores and check online to see who's going to carry these, because it won't be many places, and the places that do get them will most likely sell out pretty quickly. So if you want a pair, you're going to have to be on the ball when they release on April 12th. Other than that though guys, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support with a like. If you have any questions at all regarding this shoe or regarding the channel in general, be sure to leave those down below in the comments. Also, if you have any suggestions for shoes you'd like to see featured on the channel, be sure to leave those down below in the comments as well. It's kind of nice when you guys do that, just because I can look through it, and sometimes I see a shoe that wasn't necessarily on my radar that one of you suggested, and I end up bringing it in. It's you guys like to see it, and it helps me to kind of, like I said, find shoes that I perhaps would have never discovered otherwise. If you guys do want to see some high quality images of the shoe, they will be on the review page on my website, also linked down below in the description of this video. Other than that though, subscribe if you haven't already for more sneaker reviews. All of my social media information is also down below in the description. And other than that guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.